Okay, so you've seen the logo, right? You've definitely tasted the butter. But do you really know the story behind Mole? Because it's not just some company. It's a full-blown revolution started by farmers. A revolution that built a multi-billion-dollar empire. And the whole thing boils down to one single question. And this is the big puzzle we're going to unpack today. I mean, how on earth did millions of farmers with basically zero corporate backing create one of the most powerful brands in India? A brand that goes head to head with giant multinational corporations and wins. The answer, it turns out, is in a business model that is just completely different. You know, for decades, Amul has been so much more than just a brand. It's it's like a part of the Indian identity, right? A symbol of quality and trust you'll find in pretty much every home across the country. But to really get how they pulled off that incredible reach, we've got to look under the hood. We need to see how this thing is actually built. Okay, so here's the first huge piece of the puzzle. Amul isn't owned by some faceless shareholders in a boardroom or by some single wealthy family. No, it's a cooperative. And that means it's owned by the very same people who produce its milk. So what does that even mean, cooperative? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. It means the power and, yep, the profits are in the hands of the members themselves. And in Omul's case, we're talking about millions of dairy farmers. Now, this isn't just some nice feel-good story. This is the absolute core engine of their entire operation. It changes everything. Okay, but think about it. How in the world do you organize millions of individual farmers into one streamlined, super efficient business? It sounds almost impossible, right? Well, Amul's founders came up with this brilliant three-tier system that became the engine for the whole thing. And this three-tier structure is just, it's genius. So let's walk through it. First, you've got the village level. That's where the farmers bring their milk every day and get paid right then and there. Super simple. Then, that milk moves up to the district unions. That's where it gets processed into all the stuff we love. Butter, cheese, you name it. And finally, the whole operation is topped by the state-level federation. Their job? To market and sell everything under that one powerful brand name, Amul. It's this incredible system that literally connects the smallest farmer in a remote village to the biggest supermarket in a city. And this right here, this is the core difference. Think about it. In a normal company, a farmer is just a supplier, a vendor, selling a raw material. But in the Amul model, the farmer is everything. They supply the milk, yeah, but they also own the company that processes it, and they get a cut of the final profits. It completely flips the script on the power dynamic. And the real genius of this model is how the benefits just ripple outwards. It's not about making a few people at the top rich. It's designed from the ground up to create value for everyone who touches it. Let's just break down this win-win-win situation. For the farmers, they get fair prices. No more getting ripped off by middlemen. For us, the consumers, we get affordable, high-quality stuff that we can trust. And for society as a whole, it creates tons of jobs in rural areas, and this is huge, it empowers women, who are really the backbone of India's entire dairy industry. So when you look at it, Amul's whole strategy basically just spits in the face of conventional business school wisdom. They don't act like a typical profit-hungry corporation. And honestly, that's exactly why they win. I mean, just look at this side by side. A typical private company has shareholders screaming for maximum profits. Amul has farmers asking for fair prices and some stability. Where other companies are chasing high-margin premium products, Amul is all about being affordable and being everywhere. Their entire objective is different. It's about the farmer's welfare, not just squeezing out every last drop of profit. So yeah, you can see their money comes from a whole range of products: milk, butter, cheese, ice cream, the works. But the real magic here isn't what they sell, it's how they price it. It's a totally radical approach. And this is where Amul just shatters the corporate mold. They intentionally operate on razor-thin margins. Seriously. Instead of trying to make a huge profit on every single pack of butter, their entire strategy is built on one simple idea: massive volume. The goal is just to sell to everyone, everywhere. And that laser focus on volume, that reveals their secret weapon. It's all about availability. Be everywhere for everyone. And it's a strategy that only works because they have this incredible, almost unbreakable competitive advantage, or what you'd call a moat. So, in the business world, a moat is like a protective ditch around a castle. It's something that protects a company from its rivals. And Amul? Well, they haven't just built one. They've built 5 incredible moats that make them almost untouchable. Okay, let's run through them. Moat number one, that cooperative ownership we talked about. Having millions of farmers as your owners means you have a totally secure, totally loyal, and absolutely massive supply of milk. No competitor can ever match that. It's impossible.
Moat number two, their insane distribution network. We're talking over 1 million retail outlets, from giant city supermarkets to the tiniest village shop. That kind of reach gives them total market dominance.
Then there's moat number three, trust. For over 70 years, Amul has been a staple in Indian homes. That kind of legacy, that brand loyalty, you just can't buy it. It's priceless. Moat number four is their cost advantage. Because they cut out all those middlemen, the whole system is just way more efficient, and that lets them all consistently keep their prices lower than anyone else. And finally, number five, just their sheer, mind-boggling scale. The size of their operation, from collecting the milk to getting it on the shelf, is so massive that it creates this huge wall that nobody else can climb over. It's an incredible barrier to entry. But look, no company is invincible, right? Even a giant like Amul is facing some pretty serious challenges in today's world. You've got rising costs for things like animal feed and energy, which squeeze their margins. You've got the very real threat of climate change messing with milk production. And on top of all that, competition is getting fierce, not just from other private dairies, but from the whole vegan, plant-based alternative movement that's really taking off. How Amul handles these challenges, well, that's going to define their next chapter, for sure. But when you step back and look at the whole picture, this is the most important thing to remember. Amul's success isn't just about dollars and cents or market share. Its real success is measured in the impact it's had on millions of lives. It's a socio-economic institution. It's proof, living proof, that a business can be wildly successful by putting people ahead of pure profit. And that leaves us with one final big question to think about. The Amul model completely transformed Indian dairy. It did it by taking power away from the middlemen and giving it back to the producers. So, what other industries out there could be completely transformed by that same idea? Think about it. Agriculture, fashion, maybe even the tech gig economy. What could change if we started putting the producers first?